Don't want to get too far away from the Monica Seles question. Pete Sampras, Los Angeles resident. Do you think he's going to keep playing, or is winning the U.S. Open going to be it for him?
I think he's going to keep playing. I don't think he wants to go out losing on that graveyard court at Wimbledon, second round. I think he's going to try to win one more.
I agree.
I'll tell you what, though, I think he's had a lot of time since the Open to think about matters, and I think it surprised him the fact that, you know, perhaps retirement after winning the Open was more of a choice than what he would have thought when he raised that trophy.
.15:30, first game.
Seles' serve is going to be really under pressure all match long against the returns of Davenport.
Robert Davenport is Lindsay's coach. Been at it for a long time together. Very good relationship and successful.
About 7 years already. That's the serve that Monica Seles' coach said that needed to be on for Monica Seles to win. Says she's been practicing it a lot. The one out wide on the deuce side really wants to get Lindsay going to the forehand. Lindsay's backhand's her strength. I think if she could keep mixing up the serve, just not give Lindsay any sort of pattern, it'll work to Monica's advantage. You can see what happens when second serve's a little too short.
Well, power serve and a drop. Seles holds on to serve, and Lindsay Davenport, for her to be here after 7 months off from the tour means so much to her. It's in her backyard of Southern California.
It was my whole goal when I was out. I didn't set any goals about winning tournaments or rankings, but the goal that Robert and I had was to qualify for this tournament and to be able to end the year here in LA. So it was obviously very exciting, almost a relief when I found out that I had made it. And it'll be great, no matter what happens, to know that everything that happened this year I was able to make it into the top 16 and finish the year at the Masters, at the Championships.
Robert Van Hoff, the coach.
People still call the championships by that old name that really set the tone in the men's game. Speaking of men's game, Robert played an ATP tour for a long time when the Masters was the year-end championship for the men. Usually you hear the Europeans, though, say that word, Masters.
Two great serves to start off her service game. She really places her serve well. She can mix it up, hit any corner of the box. She hurts Seles a lot with the wide serve on the deuce side and that last one up the tee on the ad. As you see, she's got the ability to go the opposite way.
Is Lindsay Davenport the most likely challenger to the Williams sisters, say by the year end of 2003, or are there others?
I think there are others, but Davenport's right up there. She definitely has the ground stroke. She's got the serve to win her some free points. I think she needs to still get a little bit quicker. I think that's what her biggest weakness is right now. But I watched her play against Venus in New Haven, against Serena at the U.S. Open, and she was playing with them toe-to-toe.
Low 15.
It seemed like in both the sets that Lindsay led against Venus the first set of New Haven, against Serena the second set of the Open. It came down to belief. When it came time to close out a set, she just didn't step up with the confidence that you need to close out a set. And then, of course, you've got to go one big step further the entire match.
By Seles going behind Davenport. Seles, when she has time to set up, strikes the ball as well as anyone out there. She does a good job of moving up to the short ball.
Mary Jo, when you played Seles, what side did you think was more dangerous?
I thought both sides. I never knew which one was stronger. I think when she came back after the stabbing, her backhand became a little bit more of a weapon. She made more unforced errors off her forehand. That's the side that she has to let go every once in a while when she gets stretched out wide.
Look, the talk has always been, when you talk about Monica Seles, about her fitness and the fact that she's not in the best shape. Is that still true? Is she working on it?
I think she works on it all the time. You know, it's one of those things where I think fitness comes more naturally to some players more than others. There was a great one-handed forehand that Mary Jo just mentioned that Monica sometimes hit, and she got to that quickly. She seems to be a little trimmer than what she's been a lot of this year, and she's had a lot of stress fractures in her feet, which is, I think, a sign of perhaps carrying a little more weight than what the body wants. There's that one-hander.
Game point.
She's definitely worked extremely hard the last 4 or 5 weeks to get ready for the season-ending championships. And it's that first step she anticipates so well. She really needs to get a quick takeoff to the ball.
Wow, that's always been her thing, is being very consistent. 13 of 14 tournaments, quarterfinals or better.
Her only really bad loss came at Charleston at the Family Circle Cup, losing to somebody out of the top 100, Stephanie Foritz of France.
Monica Seles holds on against Lindsay Davenport. We're on serve early stages. 2-1 to Seles. Nobody beat Venus Williams in a slam this year except her sister and Monica Seles, who beat her at the Australian.
Quarterfinals. First time that Seles had done that. That was the slam that neither Williams sisters got to the semifinals.
Seles really went out with a plan in that match. Wanted to hit the corners, aim for those lines. That's what, when she's playing her best, she's keeping the ball out of the center of the court. And she's going for her returns.
First serve.
Pam, you better explain what kept Serena out of the Australian.
Well, she was playing Megan Shaughnessy in the tournament before in Sydney the week before the Australian and badly sprained her ankle running for a drop shot. And that drop shot and that ankle sprain could have changed tennis history, because all Serena needed to do was find a way to win the Australian Open and then have the year she had the rest of the way, and she won the Grand Slam. Who would have known at the time? Because Serena started the year ranked number 9 in the world.
Game point. And game to Davenport. Even to a piece first set. The exclusive coverage of the Home Depot Championship presented by Porsche continuing here on ESPN 3:30. More live action. Magdalena Mileva taking on Daniela Hantukova, and then tomorrow night ESPN 2, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Serena Williams and a Smashnova.
Since Kutzer's not playing, I would say Smashnova is probably the shortest player in the draw. What do you think?
I think you'd be right.
What is she, about 5'3"?
Oh, you're being generous, I think.
All right, 5'1½".
There's a player that plays a ton of tournaments, is so fit, so strong, Smashnova.
Kept Kornikova from winning a singles title about a month and a half ago. Good sign for both players that they're holding serve comfortably at the start of this match. You know, they're both such great big match players, even though this is one of those matchups that you go, wow, they would have settled in quickly.
Easy hold for Monica Seles, and she has the lead in the first set. We'll be back with more live coverage from LA after this. Presented by Porsche, Monica Seles and Lindsay Davenport, 3-2 on serve. Davenport serving here in the first set. Cliff Drysdale, Pam Schreiber, Mary Jo Fernandez. Match 3 of the day. Justine Enner over Elena Demetrieva, the Russian, and Chanda Rubin going down badly to Kim Kleisters. So the two Belgians are in the final 8.
Seles is going to that one-hander a lot tonight so far. Is she trying to go to it more, or is it just because Davenport's hitting it so hard wide?
It's because Davenport's hitting it so hard wide. She does not want to go to the one-hander if she doesn't have to. Another ace from Davenport. Seles with much more control when that second hand is on the racket. Seles gets so frustrated when she plays Davenport because Seles loves the return to serve. That's her favorite shot. She has such a tough time picking where Davenport is going to serve, and sometimes even when she guesses right, she still can't get to it.
Whoops. Davenport has one of those slow, easy motions that's deceptively quick. I mean, she really cracks the whip nicely top of her racket. It's that wrist snap going.
And she gets outside the ball so well. She can slice it so well. I mean, that ball bounces and really goes away from her opponents.
That's the one down the tee on the outside and the one out wide. That's the one the righties like to slice and have it move away.
Game
Perfect
point.
against a lefty.
See, I like that. So when you talk slow, the slow start and quick finish on the serve is the answer.
Whoops.
Davenport holds on even first set. Pam, you talked to Lindsay yesterday, and among other things, you said that 7 months off. How was it coming back? It was sort of interesting. She said, in just those 7 months, seems like the serves got harder and the players got quicker.
It's true. I think every half a year period, the game just goes to another level. Serena was dragging it with her.
She basically just said it was not as easy to dominate a match like she used to.
She said she didn't know whether she wasn't hitting the ball as hard or players were quicker. But I think it's a combination.
Well, the rest were hitting the ball hard.
Exactly.
There's more weapons out there.
First serve.
You've got to. What are you going to do? Watch Serena and Venus win everything? You've got to do something.
Davenport looked pretty agile during that rally. She really had to move from side to side, was wrong-footed once, and she really is getting to the ball a lot quicker.
Yep. Battery.
It's too good from Davenport. She uses her left hand so well on that double-handed backhand to get the extra angle. Watch how she hits outside of the ball and really gives that wrist a flick.
That Seles backhand down the line just wasn't anywhere close to the sideline. That's what Seles misses, is locating within 6 inches of that sideline the way she used to paint it in the early 90s.
You're watching live coverage of the Home Depot Championships presented by Porsche. Cliff Drysdale here. Alongside Pam Shriver, Mary Jo Fernandez. It's the first set of this third match of the day. Monica Seles and Lindsay Davenport. 3 games all. It's the first round match of the women's singles. Justine Anna with a win earlier. Kim Kleisters as well. We're at first set action, 4-3, Lindsay Davenport leading, and she has a, you see lights for as far as the eye can see. It's a spectacular sight. This is Los Angeles, California, and it is the host site of this year-ending women's championship. 4-3, Davenport with a break, 15-love.
An interesting vote out here yesterday whether or not parts of the San Fernando Valley would secede in Hollywood. That did not pass, so Los Angeles remains whole for another election term. Serve for Monica Seles. Lindsay Davenport, and unable to get to it, is one of her former doubles partners, Karina Marariu. They won Wimbledon in '99, #1 team that back then, and Marariu last year and a half has come through a tough cancer battle, leukemia. Came back in the middle of the summer this past year. It was one of the nice stories in tennis in 2002 to see her back and healthy on the tennis court, and she had a tough first round at the U.S. Open, Mary Jo.
That's right. She had to play Serena Williams. What a draw. But it's great to see Karina healthy again. She looks fabulous.
It's also great to see how women players worldwide closed ranks behind her and her fight.
Capriati walked out of the French Open a year and a half with signs of encouragement.
30-all.
Well, this is where you wonder whether or not 9 straight losses don't start to come into play now in the brain of Monica Seles. You know, it's a tough scar to get over, that long of a losing streak against a quality player like Davenport.
Davenport with another breaker serve, and Davenport now behind 2 breaks, or at least 1, I should say, leading 5-3.
Put so much pressure on the Seles serve, knowing that she has so much trouble against the Davenport serve. Has not had a break point thus far. Talk about Davenport's quickness, how vital that is for her to get back to the top 2 or 3 in the world. Another factor in Davenport's game that's extremely important is her attitude.
What do you mean by that, Mary Jo?
Well, sometimes she's such a perfectionist. She gets down on herself when things aren't going 100% her way. She has to keep her head up high, and sometimes I think she shows a little bit too much negative emotions to her opponents.
15 all. A lot of pressure on the server when you return like that. She is such a sweet striker of the ball, isn't she? I mean, I know there are a few of them now, but she was the first to me that really hit it flat, hit it hard. Such penetration off really both sides.
It's such a heavy ball. It really pushes you behind that baseline.
Set points for Davenport. Seles saves one. Still set point for Davenport.
So important for Seles to just take a crack at the ball right away in a rally. Just open up that court.
Cut it off. And Seles saves 2 set points.
Well, Monica Seles does not like to be at the net, but she does a good job here of anticipating where the Davenport slice is going to go.
Third set point for Davenport. We mentioned, by the way, that she just got engaged.
We haven't mentioned that. We mentioned that Justine Enna is engaged and will marry in a few days after this tournament, but Lindsay Davenport got engaged about a month ago and is planning a wedding next year sometime. It's in.
Davenport wins the first set behind 2 breaks of serve. Lindsay Davenport, the winner of the first set. And let's go down now to Pam Shriver, who is with a very special guest.